This is the video instructions for the Pendulum Lab. Please make sure that you read the instructions carefully before beginning the lab. There are green laminated sheets for you to read before you begin. There's also a data table to attach into your composition book. So first thing you're going to want to do is gather your materials. You're going to need a protractor, a meter stick, stopwatch, a ring stand and a clamp, 2 pennies, a washer, and a length of string. So the hardest thing about this is making sure that your data is super careful, making sure that you get your pendulum set up correctly to start with. It's really important in order to get good data for this that you take very, very, very careful measurements. Each round only takes a few seconds, so if you mess up, start again so that your measurements are good. I'm going to go ahead and move my computer down so that you can see how I'm setting up my pendulum, not my water. Okay, so hopefully you can see here the ring stand is going to act as the stand for my pendulum, and the clamp is going to hold the pendulum in place. So you're going to go ahead and attach this to the ring stand if it's not already. Put that back. You're also going to want to tie the string to the washer. Make sure you don't have a big long tail hanging off here because that will get in the way. You want the string to be long enough that it can hang pretty low on the ring stand. Okay. The reason we have the 2 pennies is to provide a point of attachment on the ring stand. If we were to tie the string here like this and swing it, it would cause a lot of friction, which would affect the time that it takes for the pendulum to swing. So we came up with a way to fix that, and that's by creating a little clamp with the pennies. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to pinch the string in between the pennies like this, and then pinch the pennies in between the clamp. That way the string hangs completely free from the clamp, like that. So you might not be able to see that. I'll move this closer, like that. So you can see that the string is hanging clearly there. The penny is nice and tight. You're going to want to do this experiment with 5 different length strings. So what I usually do is start with the longest possible pendulum, so it's not touching the ground here, and then I shorten the string 5 times just by pulling it up through the pennies. Okay. So the next step is to actually measure the length of your string. You're going to want to do this in meters. Please be very careful that you are not measuring in inches. So the final measurement needs to be in meters. So I'm going to measure the length of my string, and you want to make sure it's a very careful measurement. So I have 39 centimeters. Though of course that's not a meter, but if I want to convert meters to centimeter or centimeters to meters, I just divide by 100. So 39 divided by 100 is 0.39 meters. So I'm going to write that in my data table. 0.39 meters is how long this pendulum is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually measure the length of time it takes for the pendulum to complete 10 periods. Now 1 period is 1 out and back swing. So if I go 1, 2, 3, so it's going to complete, it's got to go out and back to count as 1. We're going to do 10. It kind of works as doing 10 trials in an experiment to make sure our timing is really good. In order to be consistent, we're going to make sure that each swing is a 15-degree swing. So I'm going to measure my the angle that I'm going to pull out my string to 15 degrees using my protractor. I like turning it upside down like this because when the pendulum's hanging straight, it hangs right at the 90-degree angle, and then I just have to pull it out 15 degrees, which isn't very much, in order to get started. Okay. Okay, so be very careful that you have it pulled out there. And then I'm going to time, of course this is kind of tricky by myself, but we'll see if I can do it. I'm going to time the time it takes for it to go 10 rotations. So I'm going to ready, set, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now I'm going to write down my data. I've got 11.37 seconds there. Okay. Then you're going to record that data, repeat it. It'll shorten your pendulum a little bit. Measure the length again, pull it out to 15 degrees, and measure it again. You'll be recording this data in your data table. Okay. Notice that there are multiple columns here. Right now, for your data, you're only concerned with the length of your pendulum and the time. After you're done collecting data, you'll do these two calculations. Okay, so do not record these yet. I'm going to do these first. After this video, there's another video where I will show you how to do some of the math calculations. So you'll want to watch that too if you're having trouble with the math. Good luck.